Maria Santos?
Yes.
Special Agent Rodriguez, FBI. We need to talk about your employment history.
I want to go home. I'm so scared to get out. Help, please.
You wake up to knocking. Not gentle, not polite, hard, official. The kind that means trouble. 5:50 a.m. Your kids are still sleeping. Emma, 11. Carlos, 8. You're a single mom. Have been for 6 years. You pull on a robe, walk to the door. Look through the peephole. 3 people, suits, serious faces. One holds up a badge, FBI. Your stomach drops because you know. You've always known. One day they'd come. You open the door, Maria Santos. Yes, Special Agent Rodriguez, FBI. We need to talk about your employment history. My employment. Specifically, 2009 to 2014, Little St. James Island, the world tilts. You haven't heard that name spoken aloud in 10 years. You thought you'd buried it, moved on, built a new life. But some things don't stay buried. Can we come in? You look back at your apartment. Your kids' rooms, your life, everything you built. On money you earned from silence. Do I need a lawyer? Agent Rodriguez's face doesn't change. That's up to you, but we're here to talk. Not arrest, yet. That word hangs in the air. You let them in. They sit at your kitchen table. The same table where your kids eat breakfast. Where you help with homework. Where you pretended to be normal. Agent Rodriguez pulls out a file. You worked as a housekeeper on Little St. James from May 2009 to August 2014. Not a question. A statement. Yes. What did you see? The question you've been avoiding for a decade. The question that wakes you up at 3 a.m. The question you've answered 1,000 times in your head, but never out loud. I cleaned, cooked, did laundry. Ms. Santos, let me be clear. Jeffrey Epstein ran a criminal enterprise. For decades, we have victims, we have documents, we have flight logs. What we need are witnesses, people who were there, who saw. Who can testify? I don't know anything. It's automatic, the lie you've been practicing for years. Agent Rodriguez leans forward. You were there for 5 years. You saw guests, you cleaned rooms, you prepared meals. You're telling me you saw nothing. The second agent speaks, older, softer voice, Maria, these victims. Some were children, 14, 15 years old. They need justice, and you can help. Children, the word cuts through you? Because you remember all of them. I need time to think. We'll give you 48 hours. Then we're coming back with a subpoena. You'll testify. The question is whether you do it voluntarily. Or we compel you, they leave, you sit at the table, alone, with the question you can't escape anymore. What did you see? Everything. You saw everything. You need to remember properly, from the beginning. You were 32, single mom, 2 kids. Living in Miami, cleaning houses for $12 an hour, barely making rent. Then you saw the ad, private estate seeking experienced housekeeper. Live-in position available. $8,000 per month, lodging provided. References required, $8,000. You were making $2,000 a month. Maybe you applied, got an interview. With a woman, professional, cold, the employer values discretion, privacy. Can you provide that? Yes. You'll sign an NDA, everything you see. Here, experience, confidential. You signed. You needed the money. 2 weeks later, you flew to St. Thomas, then a boat to the island. Little St. James, private, beautiful, isolated. The house was massive, white, modern, ocean views. You met him once, brief, handsome, charming. Maria, welcome. I hope you'll be happy here. He shook your hand. Jeffrey Epstein? You'd never heard the name before. You would never forget it. The first month was ... normal. You had your own cottage. Small but nice. Better than your apartment in Miami. Your duties were clear. Clean the main house. prepare meals when staff was short, laundry, basic maintenance. The pay was direct deposit every month, on time. $8,000, you sent $6,000 home. To your sister, for the kids, kept $2,000 for yourself. It was the most money you'd ever made. The guests were frequent, wealthy, famous faces sometimes. You recognized them from TV, magazines. You didn't interact much. Stayed invisible. Did your job exactly what they wanted. One guest, an older man, kind face asked about you. You have children. Yes, 2, in Miami. You must miss them. Every day. He nodded. Sympathetic. You're a good mother. Working hard for them. You believed him. You believed it was all normal. Rich people being rich. Nothing more. You were wrong. Week 5. You started noticing the girls, young girls. They said they were 18, college students, interns, but you have an 11-year-old daughter. You know what kids look like. These girls, they looked like kids 14, 15, maybe 16. They wore bikinis by the pool, expensive clothes, designer bags. But their eyes were wrong, empty, scared, avoiding contact. You were cleaning the pool house one afternoon. One girl was sitting alone, staring at the water. You okay? You asked. She looked at you. Really looked. No, just that. Nothing else. Then she got up and walked away. You stood there, uncomfortable. Something was wrong. But what? Rich man, young girls, private island. You didn't want to think about what it meant, so you didn't. You went back to cleaning. That night you couldn't sleep. You kept thinking about the girl. The emptiness in her eyes. You wanted to ask someone. But who? The other staff. They didn't talk about the guests. Ever. The police. The island was private. No police presence. Call someone back home and say what? I think something's wrong, but I don't know what. You thought about quitting, just leaving. But then you thought about your kids. Emma needed braces. Carlos had asthma. Medication was expensive. $8,000 a month. You couldn't walk away from that, so you made a choice. You decided it wasn't your business. You were just the housekeeper. You cleaned, you cooked, you left. That was all. You told yourself that. Over and over, until you almost believed it. Month 3, you were called to the main office. Epstein was there, smiling. Maria, you're doing excellent work. Thank you. I'm doubling your salary. $16,000 per month. You blinked. $16,000, nearly $200,000 a year. For cleaning, that single quote says ... very generous. You've earned it. You're discreet, reliable. I value that. He paused. There is one thing. You knew this was coming. Sometimes guests have ... private matters, personal situations. I trust you understand the importance of confidentiality. I signed the NDA. Good, because if anyone were to talk about anything they saw here, there would be consequences, legal, financial, personal. It wasn't a threat. It was a promise. I understand. Excellent. The money will be in your account tomorrow. You left, and you understood. The money wasn't just payment. It was a purchase. He was buying your silence, and you were selling it for $16,000 a month. The money arrived, as promised, $16,000. You stared at your bank account. More money than you'd seen in your life. You sent $14,000 home. Your sister called, crying with relief. Maria, thank you. The kids, they have everything they need now. You felt proud and sick. Because you knew where the money came from, you started noticing more. The way certain girls arrived, alone, confused. The way they left, quieter, different. The way some didn't leave at all for weeks. The way some of the men looked at them. You cleaned their rooms, found things. Clothes left behind, child-sized, stuffed animals, once a diary. You didn't read it. You just threw it away, pretended you didn't see. That became your skill, not seeing. Year 4. Late night. You were finishing cleaning the main house. Most guests had left. A few remained. You went to clean the west wing. Room 7. You knocked. No answer. You used your key. Opened the door and saw a girl, 15 at most, crying, terrified. A man, older, prominent face. You'd seen him on television, news programs, political shows. They both looked at you, frozen, the girl's eyes pleading, the man's eyes threatening. Get out. You stepped back. Closed the door, walked away, your hands shaking. When you finished, he was quiet. You witnessed crimes and didn't report them. I was scared. You were paid for my work, $20,000 a month to clean. No, you were paid to stay quiet, and you did. What happens to me? Depends. If you cooperate fully, testify honestly. You might avoid charges. Might. Some prosecutors will see you as a victim, economically coerced. Others will see you as complicit, enabler. Which one you are? That's up to you to prove. How? Tell the truth. All of it. Help them convict the people who did this. Be the witness those girls needed you to be 10 years ago. 10 years too late. The prosecutor's office, they prep you for testimony. Tell us about the girls. You describe them, ages, appearances, behaviors. Tell us about the men. You name them. Faces you recognized, positions they held. Tell us about what you witnessed. You describe room 7. The girl? The man. The prosecutor stops you. You're certain of the identification. Yes, this man is a sitting senator. I know. Your testimony will destroy him. Good for the first time in years. You feel something other than guilt. You feel anger. That night, your phone rings. Unknown number, you answer. Miss Santos, we should talk. Who is this? A friend. Someone who wants to help you avoid a mistake. What mistake? Testifying. You don't want to do that. How did you get my number? We can offer you something. Financial security, relocation, a fresh start. For you and your children. In exchange for silence. Again, you hang up. The phone rings again. You don't answer. But now you know. They're watching and they're scared. Which means your testimony matters. Emma finds you crying, Mom, what's wrong? She's 21 now. College student, smart, beautiful. Everything you worked for? Nothing, baby. You're lying. You look at your daughter, and you see the girls from the island. Someone's daughters, someone's babies. Who didn't have mothers who could protect them? Emma, if you saw something bad happening, and you could stop it, but it would cost you everything, what would you do? She doesn't hesitate. I'd stop it. Even if people got hurt, people you loved. Mom, what is this about? You take a breath. I need to tell you something about my old job, about where the money came from, and you tell her everything. When you finish, she's crying, but she's not angry. You have to testify. I'll lose everything. Now, you'll finally do the right thing. The courthouse, you're in a small room, waiting, your lawyer beside you. Emma in the gallery, they call you. Miss Santos, please take the stand. You do. The oath. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? The question you've been avoiding for a decade. I do, and you mean it. The prosecutor begins. Miss Santos, you worked on Little St. James Island from 2009 to 2014. Yes. What did you see there? This is it, the moment. You look at the jury. Regular people, like you used to be. Before you made the choice to look away, I saw girls. Young girls, underage, being brought to the island. Being used by powerful men. And I stayed silent. Because I was paid too, the room goes completely still. Tell us more. And you do. You testify for 6 hours. Names, dates, faces, rooms, everything you remember, the defense attorney's attack. You were paid over $1 million. Isn't this testimony just an attempt to avoid prosecution? No, you're claiming my client committed crimes. But you have no physical evidence, no photos, no recordings, just your word. 10 years later, convenient, I'm not claiming anything. I'm telling you what I saw, what you claim you saw, what I know I saw. The questioning continues, brutal, exhausting. But you don't break, because you're not doing this for them. You're doing this for the girl in room 7, the one who looked at you, hoping for help, and got nothing. The media explodes. Housekeeper testimony implicates powerful figures. Witness admits taking money to stay silent. Victim or accomplice. The public is divided. Some support you. She was economically coerced. Others condemn you. She was complicit. She's as guilty as them. Someone leaks your address. You get threats. You destroyed innocent lives. You should have stayed quiet. Your kids will pay for this. You move, temporarily, to a safe location. Emma stays with you. Mom, are you okay? No, but I will be. Was it worth it? Ask me after the verdicts, 3 months later. The trial ends. You testified in 5 separate cases. Today is the first verdict. The senator. The man from room 7. You sit in the gallery. The jury files in. In the case of United States v. Senator Michael Brennan. Count 1. Sex trafficking of a minor. We the jury find the defendant. You hold your breath. Guilty. The courtroom erupts. The senator's face crumbles. His lawyers immediately start talking about appeals. But it doesn't matter. The verdict is in. 1 down. 4 more trials to go, but this one is for the girl. The one in room 7, wherever she is. You hope she knows someone finally spoke. A journalist contacts you, wants to tell your story. You agree. Why did you stay silent? Fear, money, self-preservation. Do you regret it? Every single day, what would you say to others who stayed silent? Other staff, other witnesses, you look directly at the camera. Come forward. I know you're scared. I was too. I know you think you'll lose everything. I did. But those girls lost more. They lost their childhood, their innocence, their trust, and we let it happen. We can't give them back what they lost, but we can give them justice. Please, come forward. The interview airs. Within a week, 3 more staff members contact the FBI, a driver, a pilot, a security guard. All with stories, all ready to testify, because you went first. You start attending a support group. For witnesses, for people carrying guilt. You meet others, a woman who saw her neighbor abusing his daughter. Stayed silent for years. A man who witnessed fraud at his company didn't report it. A teenager who knew her friend was being hurt didn't tell. All of them carrying the weight of knowing and doing nothing. How do you live with it? Someone asks. You don't, you say. Not really. You just try to make it right. However you can, whenever you can, even if it's late, even if it costs you. Because the alternative is living with the silence, and that's worse. They nod. They understand, because they're living it too. Emma graduates college. You're there, in the crowd, crying everything you worked for. Everything you sacrificed for. Later, at dinner, she asks, Mom, if you could go back, knowing what you know now, would you still take that job? You think about it. No. Why not? Because some money isn't worth earning. Some jobs aren't worth having. Some silence isn't worth keeping. But without that money, I wouldn't have gone to that school. Had those opportunities, I know. So ... Was it worth it? No and yes. I can't separate the two. Your success came from their suffering. And I'll live with that forever, but I can't undo it. I can only try to make it mean something. By telling the truth, by helping put them away. Emma reaches across the table, takes your hand. You did the right thing. Eventually isn't good enough. It's better than never. 2 years after your first testimony. The last trial ends. Final defendant, a billionaire, mega donor, untouchable, until now. The jury returns guilty on all counts, 5 for 5. Every person you testified against, convicted. The prosecutor finds you after, Ms. Santos. Thank you. Without your testimony, none of this happens. Will I be charged? She's quiet, no. The DA's office has decided not to pursue charges. Your cooperation, your testimony. It outweighs your earlier silence. You nod, not relief exactly. More like ... resolution. There's something else, she says. Several victims have asked to meet you. Why? To say thank you. A small room, private, 3 women, 20s and 30s now. Teenagers when you knew them, if you knew them at all. One speaks. I was there in 2011. I was 15. You recognize her. The girl by the pool, the one you asked if she was okay. I remember you, she says. You asked if I was okay. I said no. You walked away. Your throat tightens. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I should have helped. Yes, you should have. And you didn't, and that hurt. But you're helping now. Your testimony put 3 of them away. That matters, does it? I was 10 years too late, yes, but you still came. Some people never do. Some people stay silent forever. You didn't. Another woman speaks. I was in room 7. Your heart stops. You saw me with him, and you left. I'm sorry. So am I, but you testified. And he's in prison for 20 years because of you. So ... thank you. Even though I wish I didn't have to thank you. I do. You break down, complete, ugly sobbing. They sit with you. In silence, in shared pain, in something that might someday become forgiveness. You never work in housekeeping again. Can't. The story is too public. The name to known, you work retail now, minimum wage. It's enough, barely. Your savings are gone. Legal fees, therapy, lost income. You rent a small apartment, 1 bedroom. Emma's old posters still on the walls, but you sleep better. Not well, but better, because you're not carrying the secret anymore. You're carrying the consequences, and somehow that's lighter. So here's what no one tells you about silence. It has a price. Always, you can stay silent and lose your soul. Or speak and lose everything else. There's no good option. Just less bad ones. You saw something. Maybe not on an island, maybe not that dramatic, but something at work, in your family, in your community, something wrong. Something you knew was wrong, and you stayed quiet. Maybe for good reasons. Fear of money, safety. Maybe you told yourself it wasn't your problem. It wasn't your business. Someone else would speak up, but they didn't. Because everyone was thinking the same thing. This is the story of what happens when you break that silence, late, imperfectly, at great cost. But you break it, and here's what I learned. The guilt of silence is heavier than the consequences of speaking. The shame of doing nothing is worse than the price of doing something, and justice delayed is still justice. If you do it, if you speak, if you choose truth over comfort, even when it costs everything, there are people right now who knew something, who saw something, who are staying silent. For the same reasons I did. Fear, money, self-preservation, and I understand. I was you, but I'm asking, please, don't wait 10 years like I did. Don't let guilt become your constant companion. Don't choose money over morality, because at the end, when you look in the mirror, when you try to sleep, when your kids ask what you did, the money doesn't matter, the career doesn't matter, the safety doesn't matter, only one thing matters. Did you do the right thing when it mattered, when someone needed you? Did you speak or did you stay silent? I stayed silent for 5 years. And I'll regret it forever, but I spoke. Eventually, and 5 people are in prison because of it. And maybe, just maybe, that means something. What would you do? If you woke up and realized you'd been complicit, you'd been silent, you'd been paid to look away, would you stay quiet? Or would you finally speak? The choice is yours, but choose soon. Because every day of silence is another day victims wait for justice. Good night.